hands in my palm like that, and I just flip my wrist, just like that. And hey, I hit the cameraman, not bad.
Keep it simple, sexy. Today I have 7 super sensational, simple, free, freaky flourishes to make you look like an expert at your next poker party or card game. I know you're going to like this, so stay with me. Okay, so let's get into it with something super simple. Go grab a deck of cards. Let's get started. Number 1 coming at you. Here it is. That looks flashy, doesn't it? That's going to be our easy number 1. That's the simplest one. All you do, spread and flip. Now, you can also do this with a card like this. You may have seen that move in a movie. It's been in movies. But the truth is, it's easy to do. All you do is grab the cards by the end, just like that. I only hold it with the thumb and 2 fingers. I use my forefinger to spread the cards evenly across the mat. As long as they're even, you're good to go. Because all you're going to do is slowly lift up this end using your finger to simply drive the cards. You need something soft like carpet or a poker table. My poker table works great for this. Try it right now. That's number 1. So simple. Okay, let's get into it with number 2, the Charlie A cut or the one-handed cut. Now, this you're going to start in a mechanics grip, kind of get to an elevated mechanics grip, really. I keep my first finger loose because it's going to do all the work in just a minute. So you need these 3 holding from the back, thumb on this side. All you're going to do is let these fall with the thumb, just the bottom half, just like that. Then I'm going to use this finger to push these up till it clears and then lower down. And then we're ready to go again. See, just like that. So it's not that difficult. It takes a little getting used to, mainly just keeping the cards orderly within that one hand because you're so used to grabbing them with the other hand. Once you get this one-handed cut down pretty consistently where you can keep the deck squared, try cutting off about half the deck into your other hand and do double Charlie A cuts, because this is even more impressive. And then, if you like, you can look up another cut called the Revolution, where you add a little 180 into the mix. But I'm not going to teach that today. So this is simple to do. This is number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Today I'm going to show you the Pharaoh and bridge. So the Pharaoh, you just take about half of the cards from the bottom. I'm holding like this in my left hand, like this in my right hand, with my finger on top. And that's just so I can really square this up. Now I want it to get as many in like that as I can. But the truth is it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to do this, push them together more than about halfway really. Then I'm going to hold them in the middle just for a second with this hand. And then I'm going to put this hand on top. And just like this, I'm going to hold that with my finger. And then when we're ready, we're going to bend them and we'll release. And with one hand, we're going to do a bridge. Okay. So basically it looks like this, do this. So this is a really cool way to shuffle. It's called a Farrow Shuffle. And then I'm just bridging the cards with one hand afterwards. Okay, it's a nice little flourish. But truly, the only reason I wanted to teach you this is because we need that Farrow Shuffle for our next trick, which is one that I grew up on as a kid. Now we're going to learn the Farrow Waterfall, which is what we're going to do is Farrow shuffle the cards together, turn them at an angle just like that. Keep my forefinger here. All right. My thumb is going to be on the top. My other finger is going to be here, my pinky. The rest of them are just going to tuck behind, okay? So it's really just these three, pinky, forefinger, thumb. And I want them aligned like this. And I can hold them like this, pretty securely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my other hand underneath in sort of a cupping fashion, starting close, and then slowly dropping from the front into the other hand. Now I'm going to do it at full speed. Take half from the back, push them together, just like that. And then I kind of work it. It's hard to see from this side, like that, until they kind of split off. And you can actually tell because you can kind of bend them like that and see. And the hardest part is the catching all the cards, for sure. The single card spin, which is, when I saw this, I thought this was the coolest thing. Just to balance a card on your middle finger like that, and then give it a little spin. The fan. Fan the card just like this. Actually makes you look like a pro, especially if you're going to try card tricks. You definitely want to have a nice fan. And the way you do that is you simply grip the deck. There's many ways to do a fan. Believe me, you can just do a regular one-hand fan like that. But what I would suggest is you grip the deck somewhere towards the bottom like this. Put your thumb on the back. And I'm going to bring these over a little bit to the left. And I'm going to use my thumb and my hand, starting kind of at the bottom, just pushing around in a semicircle. Just like that. That gives you a nice fan. Now, I'm going to show you what you can do with your fingers. If you use these almost like shock absorbers like that, and you pull it back and cock those fingers back, rather than just doing like an F, just holding like a bar chord, instead of holding a bar chord like that and doing the fan, if you instead do all the strings, almost like a chord, and then you do it, then you're able to, with gravity's help, close that fan with your fingers just kind of unspringing. And so all you're going to do is close them like that. And I'll try to show you from that side. So something to work on tonight, not too hard. So you'll first practice just a nice fan. And if you want to just practice like one finger like that, just to start, fan, but you're not going to be able to close it then. You'll have to close it back with the other hand like that. Now, if you decide that you want to try this, you can always do it on the fly where you make the fan one way like that and then get your fingers, but it's a little more difficult. It takes a little more work. And finally, that brings us to number 7, which is my favorite of all. Number 7, scaling. Card scaling, which means throwing a card. All right? That's all it means. Throwing a card. One of my favorite ways to show off with card scaling is just to throw the card up and catch it in the deck, just like that. And all I do is I just open the deck up like this while the card is in the air and then try to catch it right in there. So I'll just throw it up and catch it. One more time. Like that. Now you can also spread the deck, throw it up, and catch it in the fan by hitting it at the right angle like that. So the easiest way to scale for accuracy at short distance is what I call the pinch, which is where I pinch the corner of the card just like that, thumb and forefinger. I'm going to put my middle finger underneath it, just like this, and then I'm just going to keep a loose grip on the thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to force that card out of my fingers with my middle finger, just like that. Just But there's two basic principles when it comes to card scaling, and that is going to be accuracy and distance. If you're going for distance or you're going to be outside, this is a completely different method of throwing. What you're going to want to do is keep a flat hand like this, bring it up to the side, just pinch just like that with your first and middle finger. Get a nice thing like this, and then all you're going to do is pop your wrist, just like that. Pop the wrist, and you can get a good distance. I know you can't see, and you can get such force. This is, I'm bending those cards into the wall.
If I get my palm like that and I just flip my wrist, just like that. And hey, it's the cameraman, not bad. If I get my palm like that and I just flip my wrist, just like that.
I remember Ricky Jay's Cards as Weapons. Fantastic book. I mean, he was the master card scaler of my day. And then, of course, I got more out of his Learned Pigs and Fireproof Women because I actually practiced snussing, which that's for another day. If you want to go for accuracy, the best way, pinch, and then just use your finger to throw the card. Just your finger to flick it in a circular direction. This is so accurate. This is the method to perfect. Just like that. So I hope you've enjoyed these 7 simple flourishes. I hope you'll practice them tonight. And more than that, I hope you'll just keep rewinding to get all of the subtle details that you're going to want to know to master these simple flourishes. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you clowns on the rebound, and I'll see you next time.